Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Thursday, May 29, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, KHMH union to protest despite a reminder for 21-day notice. PM says PUP has only hired 300 plus new workers in less than 5 years. IMF has projected a reduction in debt to GDP ratio. And UB union calls on government to fulfill promise to increase subvention. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer Grey air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Babe, I'm going out to pay the water bill.
You don't need to go out. You could pay it from your phone. Look.
Babe, the credit card bill. I'll go pay it.
You can also pay it with your phone.
Babe,
Yes, love?
I need to go deposit the babysitter's pay.
You really want to go out, don't you? It's okay. I will make the transfer and you go play ball.
With Atlantic Bank Mobile, your personal banking experience is easier and more convenient. Bank your way with any of our digital channels and save time for what matters most.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Smart is bringing the heat to the National Agriculture and Trade Show 2025 on Saturday, May 31st and Sunday, June 1st. Visit our booth for hot deals. Get phones for as low as $25, double and triple your credit. Get a free SIM, phone credit, and social media data, and 100% off your postpaid plan. Plus, enjoy even more amazing deals. Conditions apply. Don't miss out on exciting giveaways. You can win a 42-inch TV, a phone, or up to $1,000 in cash. Join us as we cultivate connectivity at Agric 2025. Smart, bringing people together.
Moms continue to create, build, and inspire. So this Mother's May, let's celebrate them by getting everything a mother may need from Brothers Habit. And we're offering incredible deals like 15 to 30% off all things mowing, 15% off crystal cleaner, 25 to 50% off selected paints, 15% off sunlight windows and doors, 20% off mirrors and Eureka vats, and 25% off all Pistaforte towels. Give mom the gift she truly wants and deserves from Brothers Sabet. Come in or reach out today via phone or online. Happy Mother's Day to all super moms!
The risk of violence, the fear of violence, the reality of violence towards LGBT persons in Kenya is across the board, across the entire country.
We've had members who had been victims of hate crimes. Well, we would term it as hate crimes because they were attacked because of their gender identity.
There was violence happening to me, pulling my hair down on the floor, and started to beat me. It's okay for them to hurt me or beat me up because the way I am. I didn't report anything to the police, but I keep it inside.
I never told my family about the levels of violence that I experienced. Years and years, I was being mocked, insulted, threatened with harm for being myself.
The National Agriculture and Trade Show takes place Friday, May 30, Saturday, May 31, and Sunday, June 1st at the Showgrounds in Belmopan. With this year's theme, Integrating Sustainable Food Systems, Mitigating Climate Change, Strengthening Agricultural Resilience. Join Creme Radio and XTV Sunday, June 1st for live coverage of this year's trade show as we feature all that there is to offer. The sights, the sounds, the people, the goods and services. Get it live on Creme Radio 96.5, 101.1 and 91.1 and on the Creme Radio Belize BHNI app. On XTV, the XTV Belize YouTube and Facebook pages, and the XTV Belize BHNI app. This weekend, it's all happening at this year's National Agriculture and Trade Show 2025. Get it live on Creme Radio and XTV.
If you're hungry and crying, hold your hand and leave your calm.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. Despite receiving a letter from the Labor Commissioner, Priscilla Dominguez-Pat, in which she reminds the KHMH Workers Union of their legal requirements as essential service workers, the union is proceeding with a protest at 3 p.m. on Friday at the facility's parking lot. Today, the members are wearing Gimme Me Pension t-shirts. Dominguez-Pat detailed that the rights of essential service workers to conduct lawful protests are limited under the law. In particular, she pointed to the requirement of a 21-day notice before they can initiate strike action, which includes any level of work stoppage, even if partial. It encompasses any work-to-rule, go-slows, and coordinated demonstrations that disrupt the normal delivery of essential services. According to Dominguez-Pat, while the union's announced actions are being described as progressive, they fall within the remit of the law and would therefore be unlawful without the required 21-day notice. The commissioner urges the union to formally report the dispute to the minister and recommends mediation. Meanwhile, earlier today, the Public Service Union was still tallying the results of the vote from membership Wednesday on whether or not they will accept the government's proposal of a 3% salary increase by October this year and an unfrozen increment next year. Early indications are that the majority do not support the proposal. We are awaiting the final results. Pressure continues to mount against the government as the University of Belize Faculty and Staff Union has now chimed in, reiterating its own demand for the fulfillment of promises made to the university. While it was in opposition, the People's United Party condemned the 2020 slashing of the university's government subvention by 24.2%. The PUP then committed to restore the annual subvention and to actually increase it over a period of 5 years. When the union reminded the party of its commitment in 2024, the administration said that due to COVID, it would have been irresponsible of them to comply with the promise, but informed that, as part of a clear plan, quote, for the sustainable, responsible financing of the National University, it would increase financing to $10 million in the 2025-2026 fiscal year. The union notes that this year's budget does not provide for such an allocation and calls this a clear indication that GOB has no intention of increasing the subvention as promised. The union says the failure to increase the subvention, quote, will further continue to strain the university's operations and negatively impacts the productivity of its faculty and staff, which will directly impact the students and their families, end quote. It then notes that UB may be forced to increase tuition to students, which would impact the entire Belizean community. The National Trade Union Congress of Belize, NTUCB, has thrown its support behind all its affiliate unions that are making requests of the government and are moving toward industrial action for their demands to be met. In a release today, the Congress wrote, quote, the right to agitate, to demonstrate, and to strike is a cornerstone of unionism and a protected tool when the legitimate concerns of workers are met with disregard and disrespect, end quote. The Congress also describes as unconscionable and morally bankrupt the award of bloated contracts to a select few and the unjustifiable salary hikes for CEOs. The NTUCB is demanding accountability and says contracts of such magnitude should not be signed in secrecy or without proper vetting to ensure service for cost. The Congress asked the government to reconsider its current course of action and rebuild trust with the workers who form the backbone of our public service. It writes, quote, continued neglect and dismissiveness will only serve to unite the labor force in one resounding collective voice, one that cannot and will not be ignored, end quote. Prime Minister John Briceño started wrapping up the budget debate for fiscal year 2025-2026 close to 5 p.m. on Wednesday. All but one area representative contributed to the 3-day marathon event. The member for Corozal North, Honorable Hugo Pat, was absent with no explanation provided, and this garnered him some criticism from the government bench. Opposition leader Honorable Tracy Panton affirmed Monday that Pat's absence had nothing to do with internal party issues. We note here that despite the recent court ruling on who is the rightful UDP, Pat has maintained support for Panton to be the next leader of the party. In his closing remarks after 3 days of debate, Briceño first tackled Panton's note that the labor force has decreased by 26,000 and that the low unemployment figures are questionable.
In 2024, there was approximately 129,000 Belizeans that were not working. But of those 129,000, Mr. Speaker, 84% were not working because of personal or family responsibility. That came up to about 47,000 people. They were attending school or training, which is about 24,463 persons or Belizeans. There were disability or illness or injury. That is approximately 10,904 Belizeans. They were retired or too old to work. That's another 26,364 persons. Where we need to work is on the 47,000 that were not working for one reason or another. But of those, honorable members, 44,300 are women. Many, as we know, many of our women have, I don't want to call it a burden, because it's something, it's almost a privilege of taking care of the children and the family. But they are the ones, in many instances, are required to stay home to be able to take care of the family.
After the break, Queen Square area rep questions significant increase in salaries and benefits at Education Ministry. Stay with us.
Smart is bringing the heat to the National Agriculture and Trade Show 2025 on Saturday, May 31st and Sunday, June 1st. Visit our booth for hot deals. Get phones for as low as $25, double and triple your credit. Get a free SIM, phone credit, and social media data, and 100% off your postpaid plan. Plus, enjoy even more amazing deals. Conditions apply. Don't miss out on exciting giveaways. You can win a 42-inch TV, a phone, or up to $1,000 in cash. Join us as we cultivate connectivity at Agric 2025. Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome to Atlantic Online. In this step-by-step video, we will show you how to unlock your user. Click Unlock User on the personal login page. Enter your username, then click Send OTP. You will receive a 6-digit one-time password OTP via email and SMS. The OTP is valid for 5 minutes. Do not share this OTP with anyone. Enter the OTP, then click Unlock. If you did not receive the OTP, click Resend OTP. And if you still do not receive the OTP, please visit your nearest branch. Your account has now been unlocked successfully, and you can now log in. For more step-by-step videos, view our Atlantic Online playlist on YouTube to learn how to perform your banking transactions. Bank your way with any of our digital channels and save time for what matters most.
Earn V-Bucks and get a chance to win a $10,000 homecation with Benny's. Quality and savings.
Enhanced service and faster sickness benefit claim processing are at your fingertips with SSB's healthcare feature, accessible via the My Social Security self-service portal. Your convenience during illness is key. Now your doctor can certify your period of illness, and your employer can confirm your employment details digitally, eliminating the need to visit our office. But wait, it gets better. You can also review the medical certificate provided by your doctor in your My Social Security account, along with real-time processing updates, keeping you informed. To ensure a smooth process, always review your electronic medical certificate before you hit submit. Upon submission, your employer is notified via email of your claim submitted to SSB and must respond within 48 hours for your claim to be automatically processed. For more information, check out our guides on our website and YouTube pages. Social Security at your fingertips.
The National Agriculture and Trade Show takes place Friday, May 30, Saturday, May 31, and Sunday, June 1st at the Showgrounds in Belmopan. With this year's theme, Integrating Sustainable Food Systems, Mitigating Climate Change, Strengthening Agricultural Resilience. Join Creme Radio and XTV Sunday, June 1st for live coverage of this year's trade show as we feature all that there is to offer. The sights, the sounds, the people, the goods and services. Get it live on Creme Radio 96.5, 101.1 and 91.1 and on the Creme Radio Belize BHNI app. on XTV, the XTV Belize YouTube and Facebook pages, and the XTV Belize BHNI app. This weekend, it's all happening at this year's National Agriculture and Trade Show 2025. Get it live on Creme Radio and XTV.
If you're hungry and crying, hold your land and leave your can.
One of the aspects of the leader of the opposition's budget rebuttal that the Prime Minister addressed in his wrap-up had to do with new hires in the public service. The PM revealed that the hires in the last almost 5 years have certainly not been out of proportion as claimed.
Under the UDP, the payroll almost doubled in 12 years, increased by 92%, or an average increase of 7.7% per annum. As a comparison, the average salary per worker on the other has increased by 26% in the same period, from 30,000 to 37,000. If it is that the LU is trying to make the point that this administration is hiring too much, she is wrong. In 2020, the public officer workforce was 15,331. Currently, it is 15,662. The public office workforce, therefore, has increased by less than 350 new persons, or around 2%, over a period of roughly 5 years.
According to Prime Minister John Briceño, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, continues to provide glowing assessments of Belize's fiscal performance. He reported during the wrap-up of the budget debate that earlier this month, the IMF provided an assessment letter of Belize's current macroeconomic and fiscal performance that speaks well about Belize.
The letter is connected with Belize's participation in the World Bank's Development Policy Credit. In that letter, the IMF concluded, and I quote, not my words, I quote, "Belize's economy has performed remarkably well." The IMF cited that 8.2% growth rate in 2024 and projecting a 2025 growth rate well above the historic average of 2.23%. Remember, under the UDP, it was 1.5%, but the historic average is between 2 and 2.3%.
The Briceño administration has often boasted about a reduction in our debt to GDP ratio, which was at around 130% when they came to power in 2020. With the renegotiation of the super bond into the blue bond in late 2021, the figure was reduced by 12%. Then came a renegotiation of our Venezuela Petrocaribe debt. But there was also a rebasing exercise, meaning a change in the methodology to calculate GDP, and that slashed our debt to GDP ratio even further. In November 2024, the figure stood at 64%, and the PM on Wednesday informed that the IMF is projecting the figure will reduce even further by 2030.
I quote further from the IMF letter, and it states, the staff from the IMF expects the current account deficit to narrow to 1.4% of GDP by 2030, end of quote, due to, among other factors, higher tourism receipts and the projected improvements in the terms of trade. They write that, and I quote, the public debt has declined substantially since the pandemic, attributing this reduction to a strong economic recovery, large fiscal consolidation, and 2 debt reductions operations. Public debt is now firmly on a downward path and projected to fall to 54.5% of GDP by 2030. Not my words, the IMF. And I quote again, at this level, public debt would remain below the 70% of GDP target in the authority's 2021 medium-term recovery plan, with 95% probability given historical shocks, and it will be in line with the debt levels in emerging market economies with investment-grade sovereign credit ratings.
Unlike his predecessor, Sister B, Queen Square Area Representative Honorable Godwin Haylock was present for the 3 days of his first budget debate and extracted some notable figures from the 404-page budget book. He started with the Ministry of Education and shared that while it includes some commendable areas, there is a significant proposed increase in emoluments, that is, salaries and benefits.
At page 157 of the draft estimates, the total budget ceiling for this ministry stands at a whopping $303 million, illustrating a near $14 million increase. However, the real increase is found under personal emoluments of the budget estimate. The personal emoluments stand at $208 million for salaries, allowances, wages, and overtime. That's $83 million more than last year's budget, which is an increase of 66%. Come on, Mr. Minister of Education. It shows that this government can find money for what they want to. I hope and I pray this $83 million includes funds for the teachers' salary raise and for the teachers' increments.
Next, Haylock turned to transport, where he observed that there is a negligible increase for enforcement.
How dare we talk about a modern transportation system when the draft estimate shows no fund allocated for modernizing the transportation industry? In fact, Mr. Speaker, a perusal of the draft estimates for this ministry shows a budget of $2.5 million, totaling a projected $10.5 million. The section dealing with transport administration and enforcement at page 291 reveals that the transport budget is expected to increase from $6.1 million to $7.8 million. That's an increase of $1.7 million, of which $1.5 million is an increase earmarked for spending on recurrent revenues. Believe it or not, recurrent revenues. So the clear majority goes to just recurrent revenues. This is the fifth national budget presented by the member from Orange Walk Central. And you know what? It contains not even a shilling of hope that this government cares about commuters. And not even a Queen's dollar coin is found in the draft estimates to build or upgrade infrastructures like bus terminals. But Mr. Speaker, before I go any further, I want to make it clear that I support the concept of providing more comfortable buses for our commuters, that I support the concept of having less bus operators competing on the main routes, that I support the concept of having fiscal incentives for bus operators. So yes, I support the concept of modernizing the transport sector, but we must do it right. Yesterday, the Minister of Transport, during his presentation in this House, referred to a proposed plan which has not yet been shared officially with us.
Haylock also questioned the government's ability to oversee the public-private partnership that it intends to introduce to modernize the bus industry.
Now, if the Ministry of Transport currently is having a hard time to enforce traffic rules on bus drivers, would you believe this government is equipped to handle the logistics and finances of the entire bus monopoly? Bus owners are afraid that they will not see any profits for many years as the monopoly feels its way around, raising bus fares here and there or trying cost-cutting measures to be profitable. The Minister of Transportation has been completely silent on the issue of profits. Maybe it's because there's a reality that public transport should not be profit-driven. It should be cost-effective for the poor. It should be subsidized with a view of one day being free for all. At this stage, nothing is in place to convince bus operators to take this leap of faith into another monopoly. The government has no credibility in this industry. They have invested nothing meaningful in this year's draft estimate. As such, bus operators will find it hard to believe that they will promise from this prematurely hatched proposal. I will suggest that the Ministry of Transportation need to, first and foremost, build new terminals and refurbish old ones. Implement a new advanced mobile ticketing system. How long we are behind? And establish a better enforcement team. Only then will this government be considered worthy to invest hands in hands as true partners with the bus operators and with the best interests of all stakeholders. Government may need to subsidize the bus industry. That's real. Too often we hear promises and see pilot programs that never scale up.
In sporting news, basketball scouts are in Belize City from Lake Superior State University, LSSU, in Michigan, USA, to look at local talent. Gifted male and female basketball athletes who have graduated high school showed off their skills inside the Belize City Civic Center. Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Honorable Devin Daly, who attended LSSU, spoke of the opportunity for the youths and the change for further education.
Today, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, along with Tourism, myself and Minister Anthony Mala, we've invited the head coaches from Lake Superior State University, both men's and women head coaches. That's the same university I went to. They're here on a scouting trip to see who can actually play college basketball in Michigan. I think 3 or 4 seniors from their team recently graduated, and this is the same university I went to. I have a very close connection with the coach, and he mentioned that they have a lot of openings, and I said, Coach, every single year we have youths from Belize trying to fundraise, have barbecue fundraisers, and we don't necessarily get the most out of it. So now I'm asking, are you willing to come to Belize to see our talent, to see our youths, and possibly give them an opportunity? And right away he agreed to it. I have not personally, Devin Daly, have not personally coached these kids over the years. I have to attribute that to their coaches, Polo, Rasco, Ding, the different Poppy, the different coaches, and many more. It's a community of coaches, it's a camaraderie. In my position, in my capacity now, is trying to open the doors so they can harness their talents and get the necessary exposure that they need. They're thankful.
Daly commented on the low turnout of female athletes at the scouting session. He said that the number of girls involved in sports in Belize is not at the level they would want, but he's committed to see that number grow.
Well, what we see here, the male to female ratio for student athletes, it's nothing to hide. It's our reality. It's an honest baseline, and this is where we're going to start. We don't have equality. But we're starting that inclusion for the Ministry of Youth and Sports and Tourism. So this is a start. I'm not discouraged.
After the break, Minister of State says sporting facilities upgrade effort is genuine. Stay tuned.
The streetlight implementation plan is to replace the high-pressured sodium lights, better known as HPS lights. These HPS lights will be replaced by the LED lights. Therefore, LED street lights, advanced optics can fine-tune the distribution of lights, ensuring better coverage of the roads, roundabouts, parks, businesses, public area, homes, etc. The feedback have been great. We get positive feedback from the community when it comes to the improved brightness and light quality which LED provides by means of visibility and safety, especially at night.
Before the LED lights was installed, it was kind of dark, Most of the time we did have to look and check. But with the LED lights now, you can see from far.
I like it because it's a nice bright light, because the customer feel much safer to come to the shop.
From the LED lights now that BL had put, it improved a lot. Well, the difference is that they look way far clear.
Well, I must say thanks again to BL on this one, because actually our nice improvement also. It bring up the mahogany, because the mahogany is one of the active street in a Belize City, and also I live back at Gongolong, and when I come off work, it's just a bloom. Nice for me now when I come home at night I can see clearly.
The main objective this year is basically to change out 16,000 HPS lights. So the street light replacement will occur at every respective zone. For example, Central, Belize District, North, Orange Walk, Corozal, West, Cayo District, South, Tancric District, and Toledo District. We have started some years back with the street light replacement project, and the 16,000 will account for the 100% that we need to complete on the distribution system.
Bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Enhanced service and faster sickness benefit claim processing are at your fingertips with SSB's healthcare feature accessible via the My Social Security self-service portal. Your convenience during illness is key. Now your doctor can certify your period of illness and your employer can confirm your employment details digitally, eliminating the need to visit our office. But wait, it gets better. You can also review the medical certificate provided by your doctor in your My Social Security account, along with real-time processing updates, keeping you informed. To ensure a smooth process, always review your electronic medical certificate before you hit submit. Upon submission, your employer is notified via email of your claim submitted to SSB and must respond within 48 hours for your claim to be automatically processed. For more information, check out our guides on our website and YouTube pages. Social Security at your fingertips.
Every purchase at Design Depot gives you a chance to win one of two $2,500 shopping sprees. Design Depot, all in one place. Mile 3 on the Philip Golson Highway.
Where are your prescription? What are the best place we go?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City. When the drugstore then I'm close up the night and pan Sunday and holidays, which one open?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City. When you need somebody to talk to about your medication, who you are to?
Bam City. We have been serving the general public for more than 30 years with fast, professional, and efficient services. We will continue doing so with honesty, integrity, and consistency.
This is the loyal Freetown Drugstore crew, always happily serving the general public at 28 Freetown Road, Belize City. Telephone 223-2876.
The National Agriculture and Trade Show takes place Friday, May 30, Saturday, May 31, and Sunday, June 1st at the Showgrounds in Belmopan. With this year's theme, Integrating Sustainable Food Systems, Mitigating Climate Change, Strengthening Agricultural Resilience. Join Creme Radio and XTV Sunday, June 1st for live coverage of this year's trade show as we feature all that there is to offer. The sights, the sounds, the people, the goods and services. Get it live on Creme Radio 96.5, 101.1 and 91.1 and on the Creme Radio Belize BHNI app. on XTV, the XTV Belize YouTube and Facebook pages, and the XTV Belize BHNI app. This weekend, it's all happening at this year's National Agriculture and Trade Show 2025. Get it live on Creme Radio and XTV.
If you're hungry and cry, hold your land and leave your can.
A team from the Ministry of Sports has been touring sporting facilities across the country to evaluate the state of these structures. Minister Anthony Mahler recently said they intend to eventually upgrade all of them. Today we asked the Minister of State, Honorable Devin Daly, how genuine is that promise, as the upgrade of such facilities has long been promised. He also described what the team saw on the tour.
I've seen neglect, I've seen lack of maintenance, and I've seen the necessary upgrades that not have been given to these facilities, and that is what we're trying to do. Not only pump some money and some funds into these facilities, create employment, and at the same time have a robust maintenance plan so that it can actually last generations. I think just give us a few months, just follow us over a term, and I think that will answer itself.
San Ignacio recently received the hardwood court for the auditorium inside the Victor Galvez Stadium. Daly spoke of the feedback from the athletes who utilized the facility.
They're grateful. They're grateful. Honorable Anthony Mahler and his ministry, they were doing that actually before the elections, and it came in perfect timing, so we rode that coattail. However, the youths are forever thankful. They appreciate it. Now they have a hardwood court to play on. Imagine 2025, that's something to be grateful for. But like I said, it's an honest start. It's our true baseline, and we only can go up from here.
Apart from Minister of State, Devin Daly is also a forward for the San Pedro Tiger Sharks of the Belize Premier Basketball League. In his one game with the team thus far, Daly scored 21 points, shooting 61.5%, including 5 of 7 three-pointers. He also had 2 rebounds and 3 assists in the Tiger Sharks' victory over the Belize City Thunderbolts. He has since been dubbed the Minister of Buckets. Today he shared this thought on joining the league.
I think I dropped 21. They call me Minister of Buckets. The sport will always be dear to me. And I think I'm the first minister where play professional sports locally. And that's our testament to my personality and what I stand for. I know they try to run away from who I was before politics. Nothing has changed. I had the same Devin Daly. They just put the HON before.
There will be lots of excitement in Belmopan this weekend. The main event will be the National Agriculture and Trade Show, but the Capital City Kings hope you can kick off the weekend festivities with them for their big revenge game against the Cayo Western Ballas on Friday at 8 p.m. inside the UB Gymnasium. Christopher Enriquez, who is the co-founder of the team as well as a Belmopan city councilor and co-owner of Powerhouse Fitness, explained how the team was formed. He also said it's been a community effort and thanked the business community for sponsoring the team.
Basketball is something that I'm very passionate about. Moreover, anything that has to do with community empowerment and economic development. And so for me, beyond my political aspirations, being a part of the community was something that I was always willing to it was something that I was always willing to put my time and effort into. And so the guys approached me over the past couple of years. Belmopan seemed to have had some difficulties with having a sustainable franchise that the community takes pride in. And so that was one of the main challenges that we had. And for us, we decided that to change the aspect of how we approach the franchise for Belmopan, and so let it be something that the community embrace. And so apart from myself, there's a lot of other co-founders that together we've made this possible. For our main sponsors, we would like to thank the Honorable Oscar Mira, also Westra Westar Truck Stop. Sorry. We also like to a huge shout out to Vault Energy Drink, Best Gear Pharmacy. We also like to thank Prince Belize, the Belmont City Council, the Belize Collection, and Powerhouse and Prime.
Brandon Flowers is the team's captain. He explained why he chose to play for Belmopan and spoke on the team's identity.
The guys that are a part of the team, we all had a bond already. We played in previous competitions, so we kind of know how each other play. So I find it more, great for me to play home than to go anywhere else and play. When I look at traveling, that was a no-go for me because I'm back at work, so it's kind of challenging. But me as a veteran, I feel like I not only bring leadership, but I bring that responsibility as well. And I'm a team player. I do whatever it takes in order for us to win. So I feel like we have a great set of guys that could, pull it out. So I decided to play in Belmopan. We're more a running team because we have a lot of young players. We're great in transition. We're also great in pick and rolls and set plays. But for right now, we're still building team chemistry. So so good so far. The progress we made so far is, tremendous. I must applaud everybody's efforts, and that's something that started from me, knowing that I received the role of a captain. So they asked me to lead, and so far I'm working at it. It's a bit challenging because you're dealing with like a lot of mature guys. So every challenge, I'm willing to take, but so far so good.
The team's young star is Jaden Lopez, who spoke on how his game will help the team. He said the team has the right pieces to win games.
To describe my game, I'd say I like to think of myself as a poised player. I want to develop more leadership skills throughout this season. And I'm just known for the guy to be very fast, very active, hustle plays, and even though I'm not that tall, I'll be one of those guards that are hunting for those rebounds in the paint with all the big fellas. So that's just part of my game. This team is built for winning. I believe we have all the right pieces. We have guys that could come out at any given night and give another team 20 points. And it's from all different angles. I think we have the capability of having at least 3-4 guys each given night putting up double digits in points. But to bring out the fans, it's our first home game. And if you haven't seen this team play in action as yet, it's something that you're going to want to come and see this weekend before the Agric Showground kicks off.
And we end with a point of interest. The National Agriculture and Trade Show Committee of the Ministry of Agriculture has informed that the raffle of the 2025 Ford Ranger XL that was scheduled for Sunday, June 1st at the Agriculture Showgrounds in Belmopan has been postponed. The committee has explained that the ticket sales threshold has not yet been met, and so ticket sales will continue at the various outlets and collaborators, including BEC in Belize City, Cellular World locations countrywide, Shell One Stop in Orange Walk, Right Way Store in Orange Walk, and Ministry of Agriculture offices countrywide. The draw is now tentatively scheduled for July 11, 2025. And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.